If you think scratch golf means playing perfectly, this round will change that. I miss fairways, I miss greens. But by committing to two key principles, I played better than scratch over 9 holes on the home of the race to Dubai. I'm not a golf instructor, just a 4 handicap club golfer. But these 9 holes change how I think about scoring. And they might change yours too. Over the next 15 minutes, I'll break down every decision and every shot and why they all mattered. Because after the round, I realised that scratch golf doesn't always look pretty, and it may be closer than you think. Welcome along to Golf on Earth. If you're watching for the first time, we're playing Earth course tonight, championship golf course off the tournament tees. Now the first, stroke index 9, I get a shot here as my course handicap is 9, and that bunker is about 260 on the left, and the ones in the background are 290, 310 to get to, so just trying to get it anywhere in that part of the fairway, and pulled the tee shot, missed my target by 30 or 40 yards. But it was still playable. Had this tree in the way, and these 2 bunkers were in the way of the green. Had 188 yards. It was about 160 to carry the trap on the left, so I was just trying to punch a 6-iron down there and run it onto the green, but that was a bad swing. Nearly hit the tree, missed the green, and need to get up and down. Now, I practice these shots. It's a 58-degree wedge. It's a relatively straightforward shot, but it just needs 100% commitment. I know I can execute the shot. I wasn't scared of it, and played it nicely and gave myself a chance to save par. The greens are running at around 11 on the stimp. They are quick, very grainy as well. But delighted to get that one up and down and start with 4 on the first. So 1 under my handicap. Over to the second, par 5, 544 yards, stroke index 11. Now this is probably one of the easiest tee shots on the golf course, and there's not many. The trap on the right is about 200 yards to carry. That's not really in play. The only thing you've got to worry about is the rough on the right, and ended up in it, but I haven't got the distance to hit this green in 2. Even if I hit a really good drive, you can see it's such a tough green to hold with a rescue or a 3-wood, so this was just a layup for me. Had 7-iron in my hand, 260. The bunkers on the right weren't really in play, just had to worry about that one on the left. So committed to the target, hit the 7-iron nicely, and left 75 yards. Now, practice these shots a lot. I was slightly worried about the bunker in front of me. I didn't want to fat it and put it in there and bring 6 or 7 into play. So, committed golf swing, make sure it carried the trap. Went a little bit longer than I wanted, but on the green in regulation. I like to walk out my putts and get a sense of the distance, and then I use my feet, different points on my foot, to work out how far I need to hit it, and stick to that every green, and it seems to be working. Rolled that one up nicely and made a par. So level through 2 holes. Now, to play to scratch on this front 9, you actually get 2 shots on the course. You get a shot at the 8th and the 9th. So a round of 38 on these 9 holes is good enough for a scratch handicap. Of course, I'm not playing 18 and things might change, but over to the third, and those 2 bunkers that are highlighted are no-go areas really, and wanged one out to the right. So took them out of play by not hitting it anywhere near I wanted to. Now this tree was causing me trouble. I didn't want it to hit the tree on the way. 180 left, I had a 6-iron. I only had that bunker to worry about. It was about 160 to carry that, and there's bunkers at the back. And that was such a good golf shot. I was so impressed with the way that came out. It's perfect contact, and it ended up a lot better than I meant for it to be anywhere on the green, but it ended up in a really good position. So I had a chance for birdie. This was downhill, sloping left to right. These putts can get away from you. Nearly hold it, and the angle on the GoPro doesn't do these putts justice, but it certainly wasn't a gimme, and the greens are so grainy that short ones can just dive off at the hole if you don't hit them with good enough pace. But that was a really good par. That's a shot hole for me, so 2 under my handicap. Now the third is stroke index 15, and it's 220 yards. It's such a tough tee shot. You can see the bunkers are guarding. Now the bunker on the right isn't a bad miss if the pin's on the left, but I certainly don't want to go in there. And then the bunker on the left is just a no-go area, really. You've got a chance of getting up and down, but it certainly brings 4 or 5 into play. So picked my target, had a 5-iron, and that was a really nice strike. Probably wasn't enough club. I thought my next club is a 4 hybrid. I thought that might be too much, and just missed the green. Now there was this big ridge on the left, and just trying to 2-putt this. I walked it out. It felt like an 18, which is putter back to the edge of my right foot. But it's uphill into grain, moving left to right. It was a tough one to get right, and left this for par. But a chance to stay level. And just missed the target. So it was a bogey, but it's not the end of the world. As I said, this video is about scratch golf not looking pretty, and it might be closer than you think. And to play to a scratch handicap over these 9 holes, you get 2 shots on course. So at the moment, we're 1 over gross, and I'm 1 under net for my 4 handicap. I get a shot here at the 5th, stroke index 7, 376 yards, and you can see the danger down on the fairway. Bunkers left, right, in the middle. Not overly confident with my 3-wood off the tee, so I like to hit a smooth driver, but you can see I'm +1 through 4, and I haven't hit a fairway. And I missed another one there. The idea of scratch golf in my head is middle of the fairway, every hole, every green. But so far I was playing to that handicap, and I haven't hit a single fairway, so this bunker in front of me was my only real trouble. 118 left, 100 yards to carry the bunker. I had a 9-iron, and I just wanted to play a chippy one, try and make good contact, land it on the green, and hopefully it'll roll out as it wouldn't get any spin. And that was really, really well done. And it just proves you're not out of the hole if you miss a fairway. This was a good look at a birdie. Paced it out. Downhill. These ones can get away from you. But committed to my line, committed to my stroke. On its way. Oh. Just caught the lip. Nearly a birdie after a really bad tee shot. And that was pretty much gimme distance. But +1 through the first 5 holes on earth course on the tournament tees is really, really good for me. That was such a good start. Now the 6th, the par 3, second easiest hole on the golf course. 184 yards, and it's such a good hole from back here. Sometimes the tee's up on the right, and the only real danger here is the water, obviously, and the bunker on the right isn't a bad spot to miss, but just trying to hit the green. Committed swing with my 5-iron. Managed to find the putting surface, but I was feeling good because I was 1 over through 5 holes. So I was feeling good about my game, and that feeds into your performance when you're playing well. This putt was down the hill, again can get away from you, bit tentative with the stroke. But over the course of 18 holes, I know I'm only playing 9 tonight, you need to be holing these putts, and what I've found recently is, as the greens are so grainy, if you try and hit them dead weight and trickle them in, they can just dive off. So I try to get a good read on the putt. What was the line? Firm, and be confident that I'm going to hole it. I know it looks like a short putt, but if you're going to hole these over the course of your round, it's going to save a lot of strokes. The key to lower scores for me has been 2-putting, and managed to hole that one and stay at +1 gross. Now the 7th is a par 5, 513 yards. If I can get a good drive away, it's reachable in 2, and one of the key principles today was just being absolutely committed to my golf swing. You can see my takeaway. It feels like I'm taking it out so far right, but I committed to that swing thought, committed to my target, and hit the best drive of the day. Sometimes when you consider the danger too much, you're not fully committed to your golf swing. So that was one of the key principles today, which has led to my score so far. Now the bunker in front of me was not particularly in play. It was about 180 to carry, and the greenside bunkers are obviously in play, and it's not the worst miss, but I just wanted to try and get something up there. I didn't quite strike that rescue well enough, and it landed short, but I feel confident with my wedges. 50 yards just feels like a half 58 degree, and it was into grain, this shot, so I just wanted to make sure that I got the strike rather than leave it in that bunker. And I think when you think about scratch golf, you think about hitting it close to the flag, tapping birdies, watching PGA Tour coverage too much, but it's not that. It's just limiting the bogeys and making lots of pars. Would have obviously liked this to be closer from 50 yards, but it was a chance for birdie, and 5 greens out of 7 has been the key to the scoring. Just trundled on by, and the super view on the GoPro makes these putts look a lot shorter than they are, but there was still a little bit left in this, and you want to commit to these putts, as I said, when the greens are grainy, is hit them nice and firm, and if you do miss, try and make the one coming back. But I was delighted to hole that and stay at +1. Now the next 2 holes is a brutal stretch on earth course. Stroking next 3, stroking next 1. So off a scratch handicap, I'd get shots at both these holes, and never normally play these holes too well. But this bunker on the left and the bunkers on the right are all in play. So the second key principle is just be 100% committed to the target. And I committed to my golf swing, I committed to the target, and that was the best drive of the day. I hit that 275 yards, which is a long way for me, which left a great chance to get at this flag, because I wasn't too worried about this bunker in front of me. It was only about 130 to carry, 175 flag, which is just a perfect 7-iron for me, and I was feeling great because I was in the middle of the fairway. I'm never normally in this position on this hole, and that was one of the best swings of the night. Committed to my swing feel, committed to the target. The key to the scoring tonight has been 6 greens out of 8. I only missed 2, and 1 I was just off the edge of the green surface, but a great look at birdie on a shot hole for me and a shot hole for a scratch golfer. Little bit tentative, but I'll walk off the 8th having made par every single time, if you ask me, on the tee. So I was +1 through 8, stroke index 1 to go, and this hole can play an absolute brute, 484 yards. It's uphill, bunkers, left, right. The one on the left is just a no-go area. The one on the right is okay, depending on how far you land in the bunker. But having only hit 2 fairways of 6, I was obviously trying to put it anywhere on there and just didn't fully commit to the golf swing. Ended up in the bunker, but this was a fairly long way down there. Hit it 250, and you can see the bunkers guarding the green in just a no-go area. So I had 195 left, and I was just trying to get one up there and short. It's always tricky to get perfect contact out of the bunkers, and this was a really good position to be in after 2 shots. So 6 greens of 9, which has been the key to the scoring, and elected to putt this rather than chip it, as I thought my worst putt would probably be closer than my worst chip, and left myself a great chance to save par on the 9th. 8 and 9, tough holes for me. Never normally par both of them. Was absolutely delighted to see that one drop. 2 fairways, plenty of trouble, hardly hit it close. It wasn't pretty, but by fully committing to my swing and target, the round felt stress-free. If you do that, a lower score might be closer than you think. Thanks for watching.